Patriots, listen up. There's a big shakeup happening in Lesotho, and it's time we take notes. You see, while some folks are yapping about open borders like it's the answer to everything, it's crystal clear that those people are either deluded or haven't done their homework. Just because you've got a degree hanging on your wall doesn't mean you suddenly know it all, right? Heck, you can study business studies all you want, but that doesn't guarantee you can run a simple Zaza shop. And the same goes for those pushing for open borders. They're either too lazy to crack open a book, or let's face it, they're just not all there upstairs. Now take a look at Lesotho. No nonsense, no coddling. They're laying down the law, making sure foreign businesses toe the line or get out. Foreign companies are being told to hand over jobs to Basotho and create opportunities for locals. That's right, the Lesotho government is forcing foreign businesses to partner up with locals. It's about time. Imagine if South Africa did the same. All these ladies dating Somalis should be making sure those men have proper bank accounts and registered businesses before they even think about walking down the aisle. Lesotho is taking serious steps with localization rules that are shaking up businesses, especially those run by foreign nationals like Indians, Chinese, and yes, even South Africans. The government is saying enough is enough and is reserving 47 types of businesses, everything from general stores to barbershops for Basotho citizens only. This isn't just a flash in the pan. This localization drive started back in 2021, but they've been dragging their feet, afraid of putting too much strain on their fragile economy. But now, Trade and Industry Minister Mokhethi Shelile is stepping up, telling Parliament it's time to act, especially after checks in Maseru showed foreign-owned businesses running wild in sectors meant for locals. The numbers speak for themselves. In June, inspections found that out of 106 businesses, 80 were foreign-owned. These businesses are employing 90% of the workers in the sector, foreigners running the show in Maseru. Chinese and Indian-owned businesses are everywhere, and they're even flying in expatriates, with 119 foreigners working in these businesses compared to just 4 in Basotho-owned operations. And it's not just China and India. More and more business owners from other countries are jumping in, and some are even rushing to become naturalized Basotho citizens. 13 businesses are already owned by these newly minted Basotho, and that number is expected to grow as more people flash their naturalization papers. So what's Lesotho doing about it? They're pushing South African companies, especially in retail, to team up with Basotho-owned distributors rather than hiding behind foreign intermediaries or employing locals through South African-based agents. It's all about keeping the money where it belongs, in Basotho pockets. Minister Shelile isn't playing around. He's calling on about 800 South African businesses to start forming real partnerships with local distributors, aiming for these partnerships to cover 80% of goods imported into Lesotho. This move is all about keeping the wealth within Lesotho, cutting down foreign dominance in key sectors, and giving the local economy a real shot in the arm. And that's not all. The government is cracking down on this dodgy practice of employing Basotho through third-party agents in South Africa and then outsourcing them back to South African businesses operating in Lesotho. It's about creating direct jobs for Basotho, plain and simple. None of this roundabout nonsense that benefits everyone except the people it's supposed to help. Lesotho's making these moves in the middle of some tough times. The country's battling severe food insecurity, with about 700,000 people going hungry. They even had to declare a national disaster over it in July. This only makes their localization efforts more urgent. They need to get their economy on solid ground, prioritizing local jobs and local ownership. Minister Shelile has also pointed to the horticulture sector as a major opportunity. He visited King Letsie III's Mahobong project, stressing the need to support local agriculture and reduce reliance on imported goods. Patriots, take note. Lesotho's blueprint is simple. Make sure Basotho own their economy, keep jobs local, and get foreign companies to play by the rules, or get lost. South Africa should be watching closely and asking, why aren't we doing the same? It's time to stand up, be firm, and protect our own, just like Lesotho is doing. If they can make strides to put Basotho first, there's no excuse for us not to put South Africans first every single time. Let's learn from our neighbors and make sure foreign dominance isn't the story here. It's about time we had our own backs. Lesotho's crackdown on foreign businesses really got me thinking about Malema. Remember when he was grilled about why he's all for pushing foreign employment in South Africa, while other African countries are showing unskilled foreigners the door? Malema's response? He said, oh, other countries can kick them out, but South Africa should keep them. Now, if that doesn't scream a lack of basic understanding, I don't know what does. I mean, let's be real. People with this kind of mindset have no business leading anyone anywhere. It's these misguided attitudes that are dragging countries down. Just look at Nigeria and a bunch of other African nations. They're stuck where they are because of people who think like Malema. He's got no clue about the importance of data collection or how a proper budget works. Take Nigeria, for example. We've got 100 million people there without IDs. Think about that. No ID, no access to services, and you've got foreigners thrown into the mix, undocumented, floating around in the system. How on earth do you plan for anything when you don't even know how many people need help? If you don't have the numbers, your budget's going to be a mess every single time. And this isn't just some abstract issue. It hits hard where it counts, service delivery. If the Treasury doesn't know how many people need a certain service, they're flying blind. Now, let's break this down, patriots. When Malema says we shouldn't require documents from people crossing our borders and calls it xenophobia, what's he really saying? How are we supposed to function? How do you open a bank account for someone without documents? How many police officers do you need to keep everyone safe? How much electricity will be needed? How many clinics should be built? Without data, you're just guessing. You might end up building too many clinics and then tearing them down when nobody's there to use them. You won't even know how many boxes of panado to stock in those clinics. It's madness. That's why I fully back Lesotho's patriotic laws. And let's be clear, South African businesses that think they can waltz into Lesotho and undermine local businesses should be punished severely until they fall in line. Look, when MTN got hit with that massive fine in Nigeria, there was nothing wrong with it. Nigerians need protection too. Apparently, MTN was selling SIM cards that were working but not registered in the user's name, and bam, they got slapped with a $5.2 billion fine. That's how you do it. You don't let these big companies play fast and loose with the rules while locals get the short end of the stick. So, patriots, let's not mince words here. It's high time we stand firm, just like Lesotho, and demand that foreign businesses and unskilled workers respect our laws or get out. If they want to operate here, they need to play by our rules, plain and simple. Malema and his crew can keep their pie-in-the-sky ideas, but we're all about hard facts and common sense. Our borders, our rules, and anyone who can't respect that can find the nearest exit. That's the way forward, and that's how we keep our nation strong. Until next time, patriots, stay sharp and keep pushing for what's right.